Hey Carp Geeks, kind of an important video this one. Recently we did an experiment where rarely, and we kind of see these things once in a while, but never usually in such an obvious way. We actually recorded the 4 phases of stimulation when fish are exposed to amino acids. Now, this works for literally every species, but the best candidates, if you wish, for showing you this are actually catfish because they have very obvious behavioral clues. As we'll see, the catfish lives in its kind of home, which is a small PVA pipe, 99% of the time, and only really comes out to feed, which is, classic catfish behavior. And, when exposed to amino acids, and as you can see, the doser for the amino acids is a reasonable distance away, we elicit a response. Okay, so, we'll see the catfish go through the 4 phases of stimulation. There's going to be searching, and then there's going to be what we call optimal stimulation, which is what you want in a fishing bait. And then we'll see something crazy, which is overstimulation. And then eventually we'll see avoidance when it's like, well, talk about receptors. When the receptors are completely saturated, we get an avoidance response. Okay, so we see those 4 phases. Let's take a look. So as you can see, what we call searching behavior is just that the fish is attracted to the area where the amino acids are by the doser, and it's like, just browsing around. So we haven't seen a true feeding response yet. This is probably associated with less than 50% amino acid receptor occupancy, if you want to get into the science of it. Let's keep going. All right, so now we have what we want, which is optimal stimulation. As you'll see, and this is true for carp also and pretty much every other species, the fish tilts. It goes through approximately a 45-degree tilt angle, or as we say in fishing circles, the fish goes tails up. You'll also see, active mouthing of the gravel. There is no food. There's just amino acids, right? So the fish thinks there's food there. So active mouthing of the gravel around the dosa, and also you'll see rolling, which as an angler we're all familiar with, of course. Rolling is a dead giveaway for a feeding response. Okay, let's keep going. And now for something totally crazy. So we're probably at this point, when we see overstimulation, we're probably about 90-95% occupied with amino acids on receptors. And this drives the fish absolutely wild. So we're not at full coverage yet. We're not at saturation, we call it, but we are at the limit of stimulation. And as you can see, the overstimulation really is what it says. And we get to the final phase of stimulation. This is interesting. This is when we have an overdose situation. So the fish's receptors are completely occupied. And the fish does something interesting, actually kind of becomes disinterested in feeding and kind of drifts away. And this is what we see in an overdose situation. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so that's the video, the 4 phases. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Any questions? Let me know. Welcome any communication on the subject via the website or by email. Okay, see you next time.